start? Oh, okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم افتح علينا حكمتك وانشر علينا رحمتك يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Brother Adam, whenever you're ready.
Okay. However, what you have in front of you on your screen is not the same as what I have.
Right, let me change that.
Okay, so we're reading again from for the 26 flash, page 320. Yeah?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, the first level of the luminous verse, for us, God suffices. By virtue of a shadow in my essential being, of a manifestation, of a name, of the one of glory and perfection, who, possessing absolute perfection, is of himself and for no other reason worthy of love, I had an innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolutely perfect one. By virtue of a shadow in my essential being, of a manifestation of a name of the one of glory and perfection, who, possessing absolute perfection, is of himself and for no other reason worthy of love, I had an innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolutely perfect one. But due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way, become attached to the shadow, and enamored of the mirror of immortality. Then the verse, for us, God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs, raised the veil. I saw and felt and experienced at the degree of absolute certainty that the pleasure and happiness of my immortality lay exactly and in more perfect form in the immortality of the enduring one of perfection, and in affirming my sustainer and God, and in believing in him and submitting to him. The evidence for this has been explained in the fourth ray, the treatise on the verse, for us God suffices, in 12 sections, which are extremely profound and subtle, and will fill with wonder anyone with fine sensibilities. Okay, so I can start off and tell you what I think is going on with this text and pull out some questions and ideas that have come out. Well, the first part of slight confusion for me is this issue of a shadow. So if I read it again, by virtue of a shadow in my essential being, of a manifestation, of a name of the one of glory and perfection, who possessing absolute perfection is of himself and for no other reason worthy of love. I had an innate desire for immortality. So this the author here is speaking apparently about himself, but maybe but about the human condition. So there is within every human being some kind of shadow, what he's calling a shadow, which this shadow is a manifestation of a name of the one of glory and perfection. So the shadow is there, indicating which is that shadow is manifesting or representing the one possessing absolute perfection. And so then a person, because of this shadow, though, feels the need for immortality, feels it, experiences it, maybe realizes it, and so on. But then, due to heedlessness, that innate love, okay, I should also talk about the love part. The love part is about this issue of perfection, if I understand correctly. So perfection, so being perfect, being not having any incapabilities, or let's say anything related to transience, or let's say the world we live in now and the things we see are transient and therefore not absolute. But in ourselves is this feeling for absolute perfection. We want to have some kind of we want to have absolute perfection. We don't want to have any non-absolute. There's no perfection that's not absolute. There's no perfection that is transient. So this manifestation, which exists in each one of us, okay, or at least the author is saying for himself, in himself, is pointing to this one of glory and perfection, who is absolutely perfect, and because of this is worthy of love. I'm just stating what's being said here. I'm not trying to prove this point just yet. I'm just trying to understand. So love is there. Love is a feeling and an emotion we should try to understand. We probably should go into why love is connected with perfection, and why perfection is worthy of love, or no other reason for no other reason other than worthy of love. No other reason. Yeah. I had an innate desire for immortality. So he says, I had an innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolutely perfect one. It's as though these are one level maybe upon the other, or one piece over the other piece, to make it more clear. So the result is innate desire for immortality, directed not to my own immortality. I don't know how anyone is immortal anyway, but of course, unless he means the shadow. So, but they're not directed to my own immortality, but to the existence, perfection, and immortality of that absolutely perfect one. Okay, so that's really what should be That's what could be, let's say, and should be. But due to heedlessness, that innate love had lost its way. So that love became, instead of attached, as he said earlier, to this absolutely perfect one, instead that love, those emotions, had become attached to the shadow and enamored of the mirror of immortality. What is the shadow and enamored of the mirror? Is it what is within oneself, and or is it to something outside within the world? Either way, maybe enamored of one's own mirror of immortality. But then the verse, "For us God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affairs," raised the veil. So, although it doesn't mention, unless I'm missing some context here, it doesn't mention why, but let's assume, though, that there was something that made him realize this. And somehow then the verse, if I remember from last week, the same verse, "For God suffices, for us God suffices," it's now giving a kind of solution or a kind of cure for the problem. The problem, which I understand, maybe saying heedlessness made him be focused more on the shadow. But because he saw that the shadow wasn't solving the problem, he was in need of something more. So this verse then, "For us God suffices, and he is the best disposer of affair," raised the veil of heedlessness, I think. So this verse raised the veil. "I saw and felt and experienced at the degree of absolute certainty that the pleasure and happiness of my immortality lay exactly and in more perfect form in the immortality of the enduring one of perfection, and in affirming my sustainer and God, and in believing in him, and in submitting to him." So this problem was solved then with this verse, and this verse then helps this verse came and gave him a way out of his problems, and that he found more happiness than focusing on the shadow. He found much more happiness and in perfect form, much more happiness, much more pleasure in his fulfilling himself in the immortality of the enduring one of perfection, and in affirming him, and in believing in him, and submitting to him. So this issue here, I think, is of absolute certainty. What I've just talked about is like a journey, maybe one that each of us must go through. There is a kind of maybe undoubted experience each one of us, will go through, having been somehow convinced or told or somehow accepted into this notion of just being concerned with your own shadow of immortality. And one should go through this kind of a journey and must come out or should come out with absolute certainty. I think it's possible, according to what's being said here. One can be at absolute certainty, not only a kind of theoretical just idea of certainty of this being true, but someone can actually come out being very sure and be really certain about this. So, sorry, I know I talked a lot, but that's what I think. Anyone, share or tell me where I might miss something. Sorry, Fariha, sorry, I saw your hands up and I don't know how long it was up. Go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you. I was following along the way you were breaking down. Thank you very much. And so it reminded me in terms of a little bit of what we covered last week. You pretty much a little bit alluded on it. And at the same time where we left off at. So briefly, just like a mirror is reflecting light in it. And so I experience the light and I like the light that is being reflected in the mirror. And so for the mirror to be reflecting the light, there must be an object in existence. And the way we go on, and pretty much what you said, I'm just putting it in my own words here. The way we go on communicating with the universe is with the qualities that are manifested in various objects around us. And so what I understood from last time was what the author is saying to us is that we enjoy these qualities that we interact with. It can be the feeling of love, compassion, or mercy. These are very obvious feelings that we come across. And I desire, as a human being, we all desire for these qualities to be everlasting. We want to experience them, not on a moment-to-moment basis, but like in a platform or in an experience that we experience it like eternally. And so if I just attach myself, and I have this need of immortality as a human being, we want everything to be perfect. We want eternal satisfaction and eternal perfection in our existence. And so if I just wrap my head around with the manifested qualities, then I'll be at a loss. Rather, this need for me to seek eternal satisfaction and perfection in everything can only be realized when I'm able to recognize that there must be a source of existence to the qualities that are being manifested. And I mean, and I think in these discussions, all of us, we are very much familiar with this, and we give different examples of what we interact with. Anything like a fruit, for example, it smells good. Let's take a mango, smells good, has a nice taste and everything. But then the experience that I get from that mango, I want it to be, I want to experience that in eternal form. So, and that's how the human being is. We have this innate desire for immortality. And so how can we go on in terms of executing this innate desire within us? Yes, the universe is transient and everything in it is transient as well, subject to perishing. But my human side desire has this desire for seeking eternity. So this is really, I'm not adding anything new to what was shared, but really wanting to dig deeper into where we left off last time with knowledge of God and then believing in him and submitting to him. So the paragraph that Brother Adam just read today, like the last four sentences, like the fourth sentence from the bottom of that paragraph, which has been read. Let me see if I can highlight this a little bit. Yeah. So in affirming my sustainer in God and in believing in him and submitting to him. So we all ought to have knowledge of the source of existence of everything. So we see creation that points to its creator. Yeah, that's a given, you know, it makes sense. And so from there on, I guess the more I train myself with this knowledge, then I'll be able to better be certain, or what in my conclusion, or whatever I conclude with my experiences here. So believing in him and submitting to him. So yeah, like what does it mean to actually submitting to the source of my existence? Definitely seems like the author is walking us through the framework of thought process that I go on. Not that I should go on, but that's how the human being is made. Knowledge of something, then you're really sure about it, and then you submit to him. So when, let's say, a student is studying chemistry, let's say, and the more he gets acquainted with the subject, the better he'll be certain in everything that he's able to extract from whatever he studies, and then from there the submission comes in. So I just wanted to highlight this knowledge of God and believing in him and submitting to him. So really, what is how can we understand what does it mean to submit to the source of my existence? Yes, I am in the know of a source of my existence, but how do I go from this step-by-step process that the author is mentioning here? And that was it. Thank you.
Ali Murmur, please.
Thank you very much. And thank you for the explanations, both of you. Just as an extension, what attracted my attention in this text, I will try to explain it in a brief way. So we have a shadow of perfection or immortality, desire for immortality. Shadow, what does it mean? Our Creator has reflected on us a tool that acknowledges immortality, the necessity of the immortality. That is the shadow in us, but it is not from us. It is reflected from the real source of the one who is immortal, who is eternal and absolutely perfect. Must be, we understand that our Creator must be perfect one, but the subject is, I have this perfection, immortality concept within my own being. So if I want to, because this feeling, this side of me wants to be immortal, needs immortality. This side of me, within me, needs immortality. But there are two ways of realizing that the immortality is possible. One is desiring myself to be an immortal, which is I cannot do and impossible within my power. But because I have the desire to be immortal, I think I need to be immortal by myself. That is the problem. But author says, what we should do here in this position, we have to look, we have to try to solve the problem. Since I cannot make myself immortal, but since there is a desire to be an immortal, there is a message there. I cannot make it, but I want to be. So since I cannot do it, I have to go back to my source of existence and say that whoever gave me existence with the desire to be immortal, it must be a sign from him, from this source. So let me direct my attention, attach my desire to him, saying that if you yourself, my creator now, if you, the creator of me, creator of the desire to be immortal within me, if you yourself is immortal, if I understand this, my immortality is guaranteed because you are my creator. Why? You should give me the desire to be immortal, but not give me immortality. But I must make sure that you are immortal or not. So look at his work, investigate it, and also listen to the message from him. I think it is not our subject, but we have to understand that the author says, while I am in this position, the reality is out there that there is a message which claims to be the word of God. It means the message from my creator. And it says for us, suggesting us, look, speaking to conscious human beings, God suffices. For us, God suffices. Realize this. God suffices human beings. And he is the best disposer of affairs. He knows what he is doing. And if he gave you the desire to be immortal, that means he is the source of immortality. So turn your face not to your own immortality, but to the immortality of your creator, your source of existence. Then you can make sure that is certain. You can make certain that for yourself, since my creator must be immortal because he is the source of this sense of immortality which is given to me. He created me with this. If he didn't have this, how would he have given it to me? It is impossible. So when I realize that my source of existence is immortal, everything is possible now for him. For him, everything is possible. He can give me the immortality. That is the way of guarantee. Our friend Feriha shared us the example of mango. So when I love mango and I want mango to be lasting, longer lasting, maybe immortal, I should eat and eat and eat and taste we should never go away. And mango shouldn't finish at all. It should be renewed continuously. This desire is in me, but when I eat it, it disappears. And also, if I eat more than 1, 2, 3, at the end, my desire for it dies away. But I want to taste it. But if I eat it excessively, my pleasure fades away. No, that means I am looking for immortality in the mango or in myself or together of the desire for taste, pleasurable taste. But I cannot do this. I cannot be immortal and mango cannot be immortal, but my desire wants to be satisfied eternally with no end. There should be no reason that there should be no way that my sense should be should fade away. There is no way to get out of this contradiction. So if excuse me, okay, now if I turn my face to the creator of the sense that I like to satisfy my feeling or my taste, pleasure, then I have, since I cannot fulfill it, I have to look for its creator. And if I realize that his creator is able to make it possible, then I understand that this verse tells me he is enough for you. Just make sure that he is the eternal source of existence. He is the eternal source of existence, of pleasure. When you realize this, you feel that, yes, my owner can do it. And he is just letting me know that I need this and he can fulfill it. Definitely, he will fulfill it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This was good addition. And I'm on a mobile device, so I can't unmute myself, mute myself, and then see hands at the same time. So first of all, does anyone have any comments about what was said? If not, I'll just share my thoughts. Anybody? Okay. I think there's 2 or 3 things that we'll start with one. One thing that I think is new that I didn't quite catch was this phrase that the murmur you used, that you said, be immortal by myself. This is, nobody uses this language, usually be immortal by myself. So what is being immortal by myself mean? I'm just trying to understand this phrase. I understand you said there's a feeling to be immortal. That's right. I think that's clear. I think this line of thinking you said about feeling not being fulfilled, although that's related still with be immortal by myself. But this phrase, be immortal by myself, can you elaborate a little bit, please, on this? Or if anyone else understood more than I did, maybe, on this, what he was trying to say? Let me know, please. Or otherwise, maybe Brother Ali first. Maybe you can share, please. How do I go?
Can you please just paraphrase your question again?
Yes. You introduced this idea of an issue of be immortal by myself. What's an interesting phrase. I didn't catch it the first time I read this text. The problem is I want to be immortal by myself. What does that mean? Does it mean I don't know, I'm just trying to keep my health by myself? I'm just trying to eat healthy. I'm just I don't know, doing all the things to try to selfishly keep myself immortal? Or I'm looking for, again, in the same line, just like eating healthy, doing something else, all trying to solve my problem with physical, material existence things. What does this mean? Be immortal by myself.
No, it is very, very simple, because we are given the desire for immortality in order to understand that our Creator is going to provide it. We cannot. You and I cannot. But the desire for immortality, we have free will. We can direct this desire to myself, that I am myself are going to be immortal, or I cannot. So what is the solution? That is the dilemma that human beings are put. It's a beautiful dilemma, so that out of this dilemma, we can look for the solution and understand that there must be a way of getting this immortality, since I cannot make myself immortal, because we are given the shadow of immortality. Shadow means the desire, the very existence of immortality that I can understand, I can deduce through the feelings that I am given, so that I will look for the source to satisfy me about the desire, about this desire of immortality. I cannot make it, but I want to be. It is a call from my Creator. Come on, understand that you cannot make yourself immortal, but there is a solution for it. Find out the Creator of the sense of your sense of immortality. Can you give yourself the sense of immortality, desire for immortality, or did you find yourself with the sense of desire for immortality? Which one? When I think about it, I realize that I found myself with the sense of immortality. That is why free will, human free will, can direct this desire to himself or to his source of existence. And the verse comes to the help of human beings. The Quranic verse says, look, God suffices you. You yourself cannot help yourself. So it is a sense given to you in order to look for the one who can give you immortality. Who can give you immortality? You cannot. So who else? Anything in the universe? They are all immortal. They are subject to time. They are subject to change. They cannot sustain their own being by themselves. They are continuously following the order. They are the slaves of order. They cannot really be immortal, because we know that they have a beginning, they will have an end as well. And they have no free will, so that they will come to your help. We are bound to look for the source of existence of the sense, this sense of desire for immortality. When you look at it, you understand that the Creator of the universe, who is the Creator of yourself, who is the Creator of the sense for desire, sense of desire for immortality, is the one who can do it. Look at the universe, his work is out there. You understand that he must be an absolute being. But by looking at the universe, he says it continuously changing. So any limited being cannot do that at all. He must be absolute. That's why I cannot define him by saying he is so big or something. No, it is undefinable. When something is undefinable, we say infinite. That's why we use infinite, which means absolute in this term. So he is absolute. and he must be the source of absolute immortality. Then I say, oh yeah, that's what I am called for. I have to find him. I think, in my mind it is clear, but I don't know whether what I said made sense to you, any help, etc. Let's talk about it if you are not satisfied, and somebody may make further explanations, hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It did help. I think it's clear. This is just to be more to give more aspects of it. Who else has a question or thoughts on this part? Okay. Yeah. So this, I remember from last week, was it, or the week before? Someone was here. Was it this discussion or someone else? Okay, I'm sorry. Brother Ali, your hand is up. Would you like to say something?
I mean, are you intending to move to the second level of the luminous verse of this? Are you intending to? Because there is an interesting vocabulary which I myself, I think, as far as I remember, touched upon it a bit, believing in him and submitting to him. There are two stages of very important process. I wanted to just touch upon it a little bit before we move to the second level of second level.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So if someone thinks that the universe is a creator, I understood. This cannot happen by itself. That's obvious. Why do you keep talking about it? He's right. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, we cannot come into existence, this huge, wonderful, perfectly working, and continuously changing, but never really falling into chaos and falling into disorder. That's perfect work, and everything is happening at the same time. So the source must be really a divine being, an absolute being. I understood. That is believing God. But we are given senses, created with desires, many desires. Now the subject is only about desiring to be immortal. But this is the desire I want. No one wants to die now. Everybody is really taking refuge, and they are having retreats in their houses now. So it's a good occasion to have retreat. So I'm too, yeah. Now, I am well aware that this universe is perfect, really. Okay, it must be a creator, but my desire, I may not use it perfectly. Desire of anything, but particularly here immortality. Let's talk about immortality. To be eternal by myself, never die, never get old, never lose any qualities. Everything must be fine, perfect, forever. That's what I want. Yes, I do want. That's the desire in me. Now, what am I going to do with this desire? Either keep it for myself or submit it to my creator. And of course, after understanding that he is the only one who is eternal, not me. The desire in me is just a shadow. Shadow has no quality at all. Shadow, in fact, is nothing but lack of light, but demonstrates the existence of light. That's a shadow example this metaphor is really interesting. In and of itself has no value, but it demonstrates that there is something else than shadow of itself. So if you are in a place and a shadow approaches you from your behind, that you see the shadow, you see that there is somebody or something behind you. Why? Shadow is not the man. Let's assume that it's a person. So it is a man's shadow. Shadow is not the man, but demonstrates that there is a man behind me, although I don't see it. So this universe is nothing but a shadow. In and of itself, it cannot have existence by itself, but it demonstrates that there is an existence giver, source of existence. So this desire for immortality also is a shadow in me. It means it is not immortal at all by itself, but it demonstrates that there is something, someone who must be immortal. So human free will has two choices. One is, I want to be, claim that I want to be immortal by myself. So go be healthy, go here and there, do this one, eat healthy, etc. Whatever you do, you may live not 60 years, but 80 years, or let's say 100 years, but at the end of the day, you will die. Nothing in it immortal. Now, the mango example is interesting. You know, here is the mango. I love the taste of mango. Okay, I want to get it. Okay, you can get it, but as you get it, you eat. As you eat the mango, it disappears. Oh, gone. But I couldn't sustain its existence. It is gone. And my taste also finished, ended. It cannot continue anymore. I can eat too, still, finishes. At the end, finishes. What does it mean? It says, no, neither you nor the mango can be eternal, but there is a sign of eternity in their existence. So if you want the mango to be eternal, the taste to be eternal, if you want yourself to be eternal, submit this desire for eternity to your creator, the creator of this universe, and including you, and the desire, the creator of the desire within yourself. Submit it. So in practical life, this is a particular subject now, talking about the desire for you may be right, but how about
Brother Ali?
Yeah, my internet connection is now. How about now?
Yes, I hear you now, but you probably have to go back maybe 1 or 2 minutes.
Oh, it's a long time, really. So belief that the universe as a creator is not the solution, but it is the beginning of the solution. When we understand that universe is a creator, when we understand that I am a creator, all my expectations are given to me like a shadow. I think we capture the example of beauty of the parable of example of shadow. I think you heard of it, correct?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Shadow of example understood that example shadow doesn't have any existence within itself, but it demonstrates, it is a sign to the existence of something else. So my desire is a shadow. My desire for immortality is a shadow in me in order to demonstrate that there is a real immortal one, so that it helps me to go and reach out the immortal one. So let's say, okay, the universe is a creator. My senses are created by him as well. But now I have the option, I may have the desire to be immortal by myself. By myself, I may try to make myself immortal as much as possible. But the reality, I cannot. Because I need another stage, rather than acknowledging, or more than acknowledging, further than acknowledging that the creator of the universe has created everything. He is powerful enough. Okay, I am created by him. But now the desire for immortality or for anything else needs to take another step, which is submit this desire to the creator of the desire. Acknowledging the existence of the creator is a good thing, necessary step, but not sufficient step, not enough. We have to take another step which needs submission to the source of existence of the universe, saying that I feel the need for eternity. I cannot do it. I cannot realize it, but I understand you can. So please give me eternity. As soon as you say, you submit it, you can make sure that he can give it to you. He can give it to you. Do you hear me now? Any problem with hearing?
No, I hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So the second stage is usually neglected in my life. I say there is a creator. Now I am generalizing this principle here that the author is practicing. I am acknowledging that the universe is a creator. That the universe is a creator. Okay, so what? Like saying that this institution, whatever it is, maybe your city has a mayor. Oh, okay, so what? But if you accept that mayor is taking care of everything in this world, you have to direct your need to the mayor. I mean, obey him, submit to him. So the universe must have a creator, okay, but not enough. Submit to him. What does it mean? Whatever you want. Direct this desire to him and acknowledge that he can fulfill this desire. He can realize this desire. Usually we believe in God, but the creator, God, which is called God, we may not submit ourselves to him. Just try to realize our desires by ourselves, rather than turning to him. And look, I cannot do that. For example, of course, I can do some material things here, take the thing here and make a building here, but I cannot make my life eternal. I cannot make my pleasure eternally happening here. So I must admit that my creator can make it. So direct my desire for eternity, for anything that I want, really, that I cannot do myself here. In physical terms, we can do something, but human desires, all of the human desires, needs full satisfaction, eternal happiness. I cannot guarantee eternal happiness in any sense. Eternal power of sight, eternal power of hearing, eternal power of the loving, eternal power of satisfaction in any sense. I cannot do it. My human side needs to be submitted to my creator. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, sorry. Well, okay, that's good. Good points. I'm thinking about them. Yeah. This issue of submission is so culturalized in one way. We keep hearing about it from culture, although what you said has nothing to do with that. I'm not relating that to that. I'm just saying. So it's good. I mean, because of this idea of submission being in the culture, this way of understanding submission needs to be clarified more and more. This phrase, for us God sufficeth, is that what the phrase is? I'm trying to find the text. For us God suffices is a submitting statement based on what you said. It is an acknowledgement. It's also it seems, as you said, to have a kind of methodology in it. But it is a kind of like you said, it is a kind of issue of submission and submitting. It's not immediately seen, though, just from reading it. For us, God suffices. So it's a good explanation about this issue of submission. Okay, I am thinking about it. Anyone have any comments, questions about it? Okay, I mean, I'll just keep thinking and talking unless someone has. Otherwise, we can move to the next one. We have about 17 minutes or so. And so do we think we want to go to this next level of luminous verse, for us God of suffices? Or is there anything that is still outstanding about the first level? I see Faria has her hand up. Please go ahead. Faria, go ahead, please. Can you hear me? Can anyone else hear me? Okay. Faria, did you have your hand up, or was there some, maybe from before? All right. Oh, well, I think she had to drop. Maybe she's having connection issue. Okay, we'll wait for her to come back on. So for this issue of for us, God suffices, and this issue of submission is very interesting. It's a very small statement, but it seems to, based on what we read and discussed, carry a lot of inner feeling and meaning. So that is very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, Mariam, you said something. You wanted to summarize the first one, the first level. Do you want to go ahead, Mariam?
So I'm just going to say my notes so far on what I have. So my first note said, we all have knowledge about our source of existence. My second note said, oh wait, I was going to ask a question about this one because Alida said, we are immortal because if our source of existence gave us that want, why wouldn't he give it to us? I had a question about that to Alida. And this was an example. If you like mangoes, you want to eat it constantly, but after a while of eating it, you lose the pleasure. Instead, turn to your creator and use that love for mangoes to remind you that he is the source of your love for it. Our creator is undefinable. He is infinite. The universe is nothing but a shadow. And then a shadow would never be in a place where there is nothing. This is why the universe and my desires are shadows. We cannot satisfy some of our desires. And that was my last note.
Mariam, thank you. Those were really nice. What was the last one? I didn't quite hear and catch the last one.
I said we cannot satisfy some of our desires.
All of us desires. No, Maria, what was the question?
Oh, my question, I need to go back to it. Just a sec. So my question was, you said something like we're immortal because our source of existence gave us that want, and why wouldn't he give it to us because we have that want for being immortal? You said something like that, and I couldn't quite understand.
Correct. But the question is clearly, inshallah, if I understood it clearly. So question is very good. Now, if we were not given the sense of immortality, we wouldn't be able to look for it and realize that I cannot make myself immortal, but I want to be immortal. The Creator gave us desire to be immortal, not to make myself immortal. That is the difference. So to be immortal, we are in need of immortal. This desire is given to me. We are needy. But I cannot satisfy this need. So I need immortality. I cannot satisfy this need. It means I cannot make myself immortal. What a nice thing. Oh, what a beautiful. I am hungry, but I cannot create food. Oh, what does it mean? I need the one who made me feel hungry. to provide the food so that I will acknowledge him. He is the creator of the food, as well as he is the one who gave me the need for food. And he is calling me, acknowledge him and submit to him. It means I cannot create the food, he does. I cannot fulfill my desire to be an immortal because this desire is given to me. I am created with the need to be immortal, but I cannot. But through this desire, I can know, I can come to know my creator is the source of immortality. Go and submit to him, saying that you are the eternal one. You can suffice me. I cannot do anything. That is the fruit. That is the result of submission. I am needy. You are the one who provides and satisfies the need. That is called me worshipper in Arabic, abd, and my creator is the one who must be worshipped. It means must be submitted to him. Everything must submit themselves or their desires, every conscious being, to him. And he is the ma'bud, which is called in Arabic abd and ma'bud relationship. Whereas in English, I am the worshipper, he is the worshipped one. I am the needy, he is the provider one. Now, these two stages, believing in God and submitting God, is like this. Believing God, I am the created one, he is the creator. That's it. I accept that. I believe that. I am a believer. Is it enough? No. I have to take another step. I am the abd. He is the ma'bud. I need food. He is the nourisher, food provider. I need eternity. He is the one who can give eternity. This is the transformation from creator relationship, which is called iman. The other one is worshipper and the worshipped one. Abd ma'bud relationship. So one of them is belief relationship, the other one is submission relationship. This is beautiful if we understand it. Most of the people in the world believe in the Creator, but not that many people submit to Him, submit their desire, submit themselves to Him. I found it difficult for myself to submit myself, saying that I belong to Him. All my desires, either are material desires are satisfied here, but human desires, which are eternal human desires, are not satisfied here because there is no eternity in the universe. The universe cannot provide me eternity. I cannot guarantee eternity in this world. So anything eternal, I want to love eternally. I want to be loved eternally. I want to make sure that everything is perfect and eternally perfect. I cannot make it here, but I want them. This eternity belongs to Him. So go and ask Him. Turn your desire to Him. You are the one who is going to give me immortality, eternity. So You can do it, I feel secure because you are my owner. But you can do it, I submit my desire for eternity to you. That is the second stage, which is called Ma'bud relationship, worshipper and the worshipped one relationship. Most of the time, most of us, I believe from my own experience, we remain in Iman relationship, not Teslim relationship. As Adam moderator pointed out, we have to revise our understanding of submission, Teslim. Submission is not, I belong to Islam, so I am a Muslim, I submit. No. It is nothing. It is just a formality. No, we have to submit our all desires to him to be satisfied. He can do it. Acknowledge it and direct it to him. All my human desires must be directed to him. I cannot guarantee anything in this world, especially my human desires cannot be satisfied here. I made an expanded reply. I'm sorry if I bored you because I spoke a lot today. Thank you.
No. Mariam. No, not at all. Thank you. Mariam, please go ahead.
So just to make sure that I understood, what you said was, like, practically what you said was, just a summary is, you cannot make yourself immortal. You have the want for being immortal, but you cannot satisfy that want. This want is there for you to understand that your creator is the only one who can satisfy this want. And there is no eternity in this universe. Eternity belongs to him, and to satisfy your desires, you must submit them to him.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think you're getting some cheers from Brother Ali. I think that makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. I was just thinking, so yeah, anyone have any comments on that or what Mariam said? Or Mariam, you good? Any other questions? Okay, great. Thank you. We have just a few more minutes left. I have been thinking about this a little bit lately because I have had some interaction with some people who were trying to explain religion to, this is known, I don't have to explain it. We are always actually indirectly, directly talking about these matters. But this issue of submission is not being discussed as much. And yeah, this is a really helpful topic, very important topic. It is not clear, and it was already said, but given no one's saying anything, I'm just going to add some comments. There's a really big problem with the issue of submission in that many religious people are saying submission is a kind of code of conduct that gives you utility in the world. And this argument is being still used. It's like, in other words, you have to dress a certain way because it gives you kind of code of conduct. So you have to submit to this way of dressing, or you have to submit to some kind of eating of certain foods or something like this. And they're very proud of this quote unquote submission. I've noticed that. They pride themselves, they evaluate each other on how much somebody submits in it. but it doesn't enter at all into the realm, at least not from what I'm seeing then, it doesn't enter into the realm of your own human needs and position, and rather quite the opposite. And in fact, I'm just seeing this because of some recent interactions in someone who's trying to understand Islam. He was asking questions about why the Muslims do certain actions, do certain things. And the response was because of submission. But when they described what submission was, they said submission is a code of conduct. You have to follow this code, just like they were saying, when you walk into school, you have to follow the rules of the school or something like this. I don't need to go into all of it, but I'm just saying it was making the person very confused because it only seemed to be very utility or functioning for my circumstances. So I eat this food because it's more healthy or whatever, or I wear dress like this because I don't know, I guess now people are saying there's a virus, something, so if you cover your hair, cover your head or something, you get more protection or something like that. And I don't know, it just is, these kind of arguments still go on. It's very surprising to see. It's nice to see, and we should, I think, you really benefit from these discussions and also share these ideas. Okay, we're 1 minute past. Is there any other questions? Otherwise, I'll turn it over to Fariha. Is she here? Yeah. Any questions? Otherwise, Sister Fariha, I'll give it back to you.
All right, thank you so much. Inshallah, next week we can pick up from the second level of the luminous verse. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be unto you. We have no knowledge saved except that which you've taught us. Indeed, you're all knowledgeable, all wise. Akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati sirra surat al-Fatiha. Ameen. Jazakallah khair, everyone. Thank you for a great discussion. See you all next week, tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.